in the adult attachment interview 4 basic classification of adult attachment style, and just to say a little about the narrative structure that we see in each of those categories. For somebody who is placed in the category of secure autonomous, then they are likely to talk about their experiences, to tell their narrative in a very balanced way, giving appropriate detail. So they won't necessarily talk always about happy memories. There may have been a great deal of distress and tragedy in their lives, but they're able to talk about it in a coherent way, to give very specific examples with an appropriate amount of detail. Adults who are considered to have a dismissing attachment style are likely to speak about their experiences in a very sparse way, not particularly elaborated in terms of describing their experiences, and a sense of being emotionally rather constricted in talking about their early relationships and their current relationships. There may be a tendency to idealize their early relationships, but in a rather defensive way, as if to avoid engaging with those emotionally. It's also likely in the adult attachment interview that these are the shortest interviews, as if these are people who have very little interest in their own narrative. The preoccupied group tend to be the longest interviews. They go in, these individuals go into great detail about their experiences, as if the past is still very much alive in them. They can recall a great deal of detail about different interactions, different kinds of relationships. There's often a great deal of anger and a lot of blaming. And then we have the unresolved or disorganized group. And for these people, the very structure of their language is fragmented. It seems as an expression of a very disjointed internal world and a very fragmented narrative. So the sentence structure itself can be incomplete or contradictory, and very often the sense of what they're trying to describe is incoherent.